Good day, everyone, and welcome back. It's been a few days since I've played this, but everything is where I left it off in the last episode. I haven't done anything new since then. Uh, Now, in the first episode, I set up this pasture, and this dense needle grass is the grass that these animals can graze on. Hopefully, I made the pasture big enough. I know that the the water buffalo consume a lot of food. As a matter of fact, it's the largest domesticated animal that the dwarves have. And it takes a lot, and you have two of them, a male and a female. And I don't know if it's even worth it to keep them. You can breed them and make more of them, and I think you can sell them to caravans. But they make a lot of meat when you butcher them, a lot of hides and stuff. A large mammalian herbivore. It is powerfully built and has long curved horns. He is very strong. He is very small. I mean, presumably that's small in the context of his species, because he's small. He's a small specimen of his species, but still he's very large. Yet very muscular. His hair is gray. His skin is pale chestnut. His eyes are black. And he's 5 years old, and I think that he's an adult, despite only being five. That's probably still counts as an adult for his species. And he has his own personality. He has a great ability to focus. He has a very bad sense of empathy. So if he sees something get hurt or whatever, he probably won't care too much about that. He is very slow to anger. He does not mind being outdoors, at least for a time. That's good because he is outdoors. I don't know why. Well, that this applies to everyone in your civilization. Every civilization. See, there's dwarves, humans, elves, kobolds, goblins, and I don't know what else, but each civilization has its own ethics, uh, their own values. And I guess that even applies to the domesticated animals in that civilization for some reason. But that might be a bug, I don't know. But anyway, this is the female, and she is 6. She is agile. Her hair is white, her skin is cinnamon, her eyes are black. So they have different traits and stuff, despite being the same species. Now, thing is, being on the surface and without having any walls or anything, stuff is going to be vulnerable to attack. Not only is there going to be sieges, but any kind of monsters or wildlife can come in at any time. And anything up here can potentially be attacked by it. And that includes these animals which have to graze up here. So unless and until I wall all this off, these animals might end up being attacked by something. But the good thing about water buffalo is because they're so huge, being the largest domesticated animals that the dwarves have, they do have some means of defending themselves. They're not pushovers. And they're even strong. This one is strong, even by the standards of his species, despite being smaller. And the female isn't as strong, but it said she was agile, so that means something also. But this ram, it's a much smaller animal. It is going to be more vulnerable to being attacked, but it's in the same pasture as the water buffalo, so if something does come and attacks, they should all hopefully mutually protect one another. But that being said, he has bad sense of empathy, which means he might not care or help. If he sees something being attacked, he might not get involved unless he thinks it affects him also or something. Anyway, there are these boulders on the surface which you can't do anything with. You cannot build on them, and you can't mine them either. But they do block movement. But you can remove them somehow. I don't know if that's going to make a hole or if it's just going to remove the boulder. No, see, it made a hole. And that hole is, I didn't want to do that, but anyway, that, we can build a floor over that to cover up that hole. And we'll use a chert block. Now, floors plants can't grow on floors. So we're not going to have grass or wild plants growing there. But that was also true with the boulder. This was basically useless. These boulders are useless for any purpose. The only thing we gained by getting rid of it and putting that floor there is now movement isn't blocked anymore. Things can move freely over there, whereas this blocks movement. But I think maybe you have to smooth it to get rid of it without making a hole. Let me see what happens here. Yeah. Yeah, smoothing it is the way to go, not channeling it, because that made that messy hole, which I didn't want to do, but it doesn't matter. I just wanted to, show how to the thing about the boulders is they get in the way. You can't construct on them. So if you plan to build, you want to get rid of these. It's too bad you can't mine them and get the rock. Maybe like in a future version that'll be added. If you embark on the ocean or near the ocean, on the shore you can have driftwood, which is kind of the same thing as these boulders. You can't do anything with them, sadly. Anyway, what was I going to do? Now, when I left off, I had not set up the bedrooms or anything. I only have one bed placed so far. But we have 7 dwarves and only one bed, so we can throw these down right now to, there's a faster way to do it. B, F, B, B. Now that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So everybody has a bed now. They don't have rooms. And this isn't even a dormitory. There's no walls around it or anything. But at least they don't have to sleep on the floor. I don't think any of them have slept yet, because this game is still new. I don't know how often they have to sleep, but eventually they're going to have to, and it's better to have these beds in place. Now, I think they will use these beds as it is, but might want to create a dormitory. I don't know. Ideally they want walls around their beds, because noise from things like the workshops will affect their sleeping, especially if there's no walls. And we'll get to that. We'll get all this sorted out in time, but it's going to take time to do that. Now this floor has a lot of lignite, so I definitely want to mine that out. Now with the Dwarf Fortress, with the DF hack mod, you can set it to mine out entire veins of ore. But normally you have to designate manually like this. But I want to set up some rooms somewhere. I don't know which floor to do it though. Might as well do it on floor 0, I guess. Let's first set this to create a corridor, and this will create a 5 by 5 square. But then there's going to be this diagonal gap there, which might be a problem. I don't know if I should just leave that or what. I could build a wall here, but I was thinking I'd put a statue or something here. But you know what? It's good to have symmetry. So why don't we do this to, I don't know. That way it's symmetrical. It doesn't use it. It would look stupid to not do it something like that. We need doors and stuff to put in there. I don't know You can make doors out of wood or stone, as well as metal, and I think also glass. But I don't know if it makes any difference as far as like how much sound it blocks, or uh, like I know in RimWorld, um, the doors don't open instantly, and some doors open faster or slower than others. I don't know what in Dwarf Fortress. I don't know if the doors open instantly or if it slows movement. So it might be the case that a lighter material like wood would be better for it because it would open quicker. But I'm not sure on that. Anyway, we're always going to have need of doors, so I'm going to set that to repeat endlessly. Blocks, we might need. I mean, we're going to need, but we don't need that right now necessarily. Cabinets are where the dwarves keep their clothes, so we're definitely always going to need that. So we'll put that on repeat. Coffers are the stone version of chests. If you make it out of wood, it'll be called a chest. But if it's made out of rock, then it's going to be called a coffer. And that is where the dwarves keep their personal items. Things like mugs and stuff like that. And there will always be a need for that, so that should be on repeat. And we can also specify which type of material it's made out of. Right now we only have the chert, so that's what they will use. What the first thing they can get, I guess. But since this is the only thing, they're only going to make chert. But as we mine more stuff will become available, and we don't necessarily want them to use certain things like I don't know, like let's say this chalk, because I think you can make stuff out of this chalk that it's more valuable than regular rock. So we don't want them to use that. So we can specify that they make this stuff explicitly out of chert. Another nice thing about this is it keeps everything uniform. It'll all look the same, which doesn't really matter too much in terms of gameplay, but it looks nicer. And floodgates, grates, and hatch covers. Now the thing about hatch covers is these are like doors, but they go vertically rather than horizontally. Eventually we're going to want a millstone, but we probably don't need more than one of that. Pedestal. This quern thing is used to grind flour grind wheat into flour. But it does the same thing as the millstone, but it's slower because it's done by hand manually. This thing, I'll go ahead and make one, because it's going to take like a windmill or something to power that millstone. Statues, yeah. I want to... We can specify the material, but we can also specify what sort of image we want that statue to be. And if we don't specify anything, then it's going to be random. It's going to be chosen randomly. Now, when the world was created, it was procedurally generated, and there's a history to this world, and characters and all kinds of things happened. And I mean that this is very detailed. This guy here, Ab Big Shores, is a human born in the year 72. Well, we're only in the year 100 right now, so he's still quite young. But despite being that young, he is the eldest son of Oko Hori Perplexed and Czar Begun Murders. Now, we could make a statue to him. Oko and Czar. I wonder what their histories are. Oko Hori. Human born in 44. She is the fourth eldest daughter of Tol Locktail. A human born in year 2. She is the eldest daughter of Onuth Breed Inches and Abler Young Spoke. Onuth is a human. She is one of the first of her kind. So see, that's there are no people born before the year 1 or 0, whenever it starts. So anyone before the start of history has no parents, because they were like the Adam and Eve of. And I don't know. I mean, I don't know if. But I don't know what image to make. Ideally, you want to create images that your dwarves care about. They aren't. I don't think they're going to care about humans. Why would they care about humans and humans' ancestors? Now, I could spend a long time going through all this. I don't know what to do, to be honest. This is an image of a forgotten beast. The image is the symbol of the Tempted Hammer, a local dwarven government. Now, I think this is our group and our civilization. like it's will say somewhere all this stuff. Well, anyway, like I say, this interface is a bit cumbersome. This shows our created wealth, our imported wealth, and our exported wealth. We haven't had any caravans yet, so we haven't exported anything. Our imported wealth is just the stuff we brought on the wagon when we embarked. And that's equivalent to 5,000 dwarf bucks, or whatever the currency is in this game. But we've created we just started this game, but every item that we've created, every log that we've mined, every boulder, every log that we cut down, every boulder that we mined, every bed we've created, that all combined is equivalent to 1,300. 400 of it was furniture, 400 was other objects, 300 was architecture, and 200 displayed. Well, anyway, I don't know what to make this statue of or about. I could just let the artist choose, which I think is just the same as not choosing anything. This is very extensive, and I don't even know. You know what? Why don't we look at our dwarves individually and see what they like and what they want? This is their personality, their traits, their values. Now, this colored, the white text is for everyone in the civilization, I think, and I think it's the same for everyone. But the colored text is their own unique values. She personally treasures leisure time and thinks it is very important in life, values cunning, and does not really value skills related to fighting. She dreams of crafting a masterwork someday. Alright, well, the preferences is what we need to focus on. She likes native copper, iron, red grossular, whatever that is, alderwood, crutches, jackals, the words of the coast of soaking, and the sight of the mirth of laces. When possible, she prefers to consume banded knife fish, goat cheese, and tomato wine. She absolutely detests rats. So if I made a statue of a rat, and she saw that statue, let's say I placed it here, and the dwarves walk by that statue in their comings and goings, she would see it often, but since she hates rats, she would get a negative thought about it. But we want them to have positive thoughts and be happy. So instead of something that she hates, we want it to be of an image that she likes. So we don't want rats because she doesn't like rats. But she likes these materials. So if we made the statue out of copper, iron, or these things, then she would like the fact it's made out of that. But we don't have that stuff, and even if we did, copper's quite valuable, so I don't know if I'd want to use it for that purpose, unless we had a lot of it. But she likes the sight of the mirth of lances. All right. So we will make that statue's image be what would that be under? Oh, geez, I don't know. I'm just gonna make it about a jackal. She said she likes jackals, right? But then you have giant jackals, giant male, female jackals, giant male jackals, regular jackals, jackal man, jackal woman, were jackals. See, it's not just simple jackals. You have all of these varieties of them. But I'm just gonna select image of a jackal. And she likes alder wood. She said she likes crutches. I remember that. So and we can have them doing. As you can see, it's quite extensive. And I don't know. I mean, you could spend a very long time trying to create what would be the most perfect image in her opinion, but X is being flayed. No, I don't. She likes that. She don't want it to be harmed. The jackal is admiring the alder. All right, whatever. Done. But that just appeals to her, but not necessarily any of the other dwarves. And as a matter of fact, some dwarves might even detest what she likes. This one might hate jackals, so he would get a negative effect of it. He also likes the sight of the mirth of laces. But I couldn't find that. I don't know what it's under. He prefers to consume chipmunk. Now I could make an image of something eating a chipmunk, and he would probably like the sight of that. He likes chimpanzee tooth. Well, we don't have any chimpanzee teeth, so we can't make... He likes this color. If we have materials that are of that color, then that would work into his uh, absolutely detests. I mean, he like vehemently hates, even more than she dislikes rats. He has an extremely negative view on fire snakes. Maybe a fire snake touched him inappropriately when he was a kid or something like that. So, and he never got over it. So, we don't want to make that image on a statue because it would have an extremely negative effect on him. But he likes mountains. He likes chinchilla men for their fur. Um, let's make another statue. Chinchilla man. Does it matter if it's male or female? See, chinchilla man without that symbol could be male or female, but it could also be a woman or a male. I don't think it matters to him, so I'll just go with the default. A chinchilla man he hates the fire snakes. So what we could have is the chinchilla man is doing something terrible to the fire snake. That would depict something that guy loves, doing something terrible to something he hates. So maybe he would like that. The fire snake is in a fetal position. The fire snake is being flayed by the chinchilla man. Okay, so he might like that image because it shows something he absolutely detests being flayed by something he loves. Alright, so that's going to appeal to him, I think. Now, as for her, she likes chalk, lead, pyrite, figurines, capybara men, and onion plants. Capybara men and onion plants. The capybara man is cooking the onion plant. I'm gonna do one more because I wanted to make 4 to go around that staircase, every corner of it, or I could put them in that dormitory or something. I don't know. So I did these 3, and she likes earthenware, rose gold, all this stuff. She likes geese and the words of the ash of burials. She detests worms. Geese for their formation flying, and the words of the ash of burials. The words of the ash of... What would that be under? I don't know. Why are all these negative? Being flayed, being mutilated, being shot, being tortured, burning. I don't know where that ash of burials thing is. A goose and a goose. The goose is admiring the goose, whatever. But anyway, as you can see, you can be quite extensive with this, specifying the materials and very elaborate. The image that you want to create can be very extensive and detailed, and you can tailor it very specifically to appeal to a certain dwarf. And there's also quality levels. Um, the stuff that is crafted can be there's different qualities depending on the skill of the dwarf, and there's some randomness also. So it could be as high as a masterwork, and the higher the quality is, the greater. Anyway, that's you can queue up to 10 things, and that's filled up. We can't do anything more with that until that queue is cleared out. Now, as for wood, at the carpentry shop, I think we got enough beds for the time being. So as soon as this one is finished, I'm going to pause it. Instead, we'll make some other stuff out of the wood. We can make stuff for traps. We can make animal traps, which can be used to capture animals. But the thing is, if it's made out of wood, certain animals, like say rodents, they have the ability to gnaw through wood so they can escape really quickly. So ideally you want your cages to be made out of some kind of metal, but we're quite some way away from making stuff out of metal. We'll always have need of barrels. We'll always have need of bins. We'll need buckets for various things. Now, cages, animal traps and cages are different. Cages are for the large animals and for like the humanoid stuff that might invade. The animal traps, on the other hand, are for like small, like vermin, like say the hamster that was dead on the surface. You can create a vermin hunter's shop, and they will use the animal traps to hunt down vermin, like those hamsters. And you can train the vermin to become pets, or you can butcher them for various parts, whatever they have. Each one is different. That's something we might want to do at some point, but for now, let's focus on more important things. Crutches. If your dwarves get injured, you can create hospitals and set up doctors to diagnose and treat them, and crutches are part of that process. But we did embark with some, so we don't even have the hospital yet, so there's no sense in worrying about that right now. Mine carts are interesting. I've never really got that figured out yet. Shields, splints, step ladders are used to. The dwarves can gather fruit or seeds out of trees using step ladders. I think we do embark with at least one, but I'll make another one, I guess. Wheelbarrows can be made out of wood or metal, and when the dwarves are hauling things like, say, these stone boulders, they're very heavy, so it's very slow to haul. But the wheelbarrow, like the minecart, it makes hauling stuff a lot easier, faster. So That's something I would set to repeat. Now, with all that queued up, we're going to need more rock and stuff. As you can see, we've found some gems, fire opals, and these are worth 90 dwarf bucks. But they're rough. And you can create a jeweler's shop to take these rough gems and polish them, and when you do that, it makes them much more valuable. And then you can use those gems to encrust things like furniture or finished goods. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and mine out these other two gem clusters. But I want to make a meeting hall or something like that. Let's make it big. Put another door here, I guess. Wait, what's that? Gypsum. Oh, these walls are made out of gypsum. Chert. I didn't know that. See, they look identical. The chert and the gypsum, they look identical. I didn't even know there was a different thing. But anyway, that gypsum can be used to make plaster powder. And that's another thing you need in the hospitals to make casts. When your dwarves break bones, you're going to want to create casts to heal the broken bones. So it's good that we have that, because we might need it at some point. We can also trade for it. Now, that being said, I kind of want this room to be a bit bigger. It seems a bit small. But whatever, I'll just I only got one door so far. More chert. Less gypsum and more chert, because I got all that stuff queued up, but I don't want it to be made out of the gypsum. Microcline. Oh, there's coal here too. There's also some hematite. Still haven't made another door yet. Well, anyway, while they're doing that, let's look at the what's going on here. This is a dead young saguaro. It's one of those giant cactus things. And I don't know why it's dead. It might have got trampled or something. I don't know. Here's a highwood sapling. And that's one of those trees that grew really big. Now, when we start off on this map, there was a really giant tree. But we've cut that down. And it's going to take literally years for something as big as that to grow back. So while you start off on the map, and it might seem like there's a lot of trees, you can deplete that pretty quickly. Now, what's this? We have a colony of honeybees. Now you can create a beehive and gather this colony and put it in the beehive, and then you can collect honey. And that's something I probably will want to do sooner or later. But I'm just looking around here. Let me zoom out. I just wanted to see if there's any more big trees somewhere. All I'm seeing are these saguaro cactuses, which are so huge that they count as trees, but they don't yield a lot of wood. This high wood here, these are the giant ones. I cut down that really huge one, and it gave me like 62 logs or something. Yeah, see how big those trunks are? Now these take like years and years to grow that big. So once you cut that down, you're not going to see another one anytime soon. Oh, there's potato plants here. Now, despite being a desert, this is a pretty mild desert because there's plenty of plants. So I don't think we're going to starve anytime soon. Oh, there's that it's a different one, I think. I want to set up some cage traps and catch some of these animals and like tame them or something. The female ones can lay eggs. The male ones obviously cannot, but here's another colony of honeybees. A colony of bumblebees. I don't know if you can do anything with those. Well, anyway, what was I doing? Now that will seal off this room. But I want that room to be... I don't know if I want it bigger or what. I think I want to get rid of this gypsum. And have it uniformly be chert. That being said, let's set up rock blocks to be made out of chert. Because Because I'm going to reconstruct those walls out of chert, because I don't want... I want to... The gypsum's too valuable to not mine it. And it serves a purpose for plaster and whatever. Oh, another thing is we're going to have that caravan coming soon, but we don't have any trade goods. We need to set up some craft shops to make something to trade with the caravans when they come. Just mine all this out. Micro Klein. Well, anyway, now that that's all gone, I can reconstruct the wall. Well, I'm out of doors. I wanted to put it... I wanted it to be symmetrical, but I guess it probably doesn't matter, but, you know. Oh, something's happening. The dog is fighting. The one-humped camel is fighting. I see blood on the It's the camel's blood. The stray dog scratches the one-humped camel in the lower body, tearing the skin and bruising the muscle. The one-humped camel looks sick. The one-humped camel misses the stray dog. The stray dog scratches the one-humped camel in the left rear leg, tearing the skin and bruising the muscle. The stray dog scratches the denting the skin and bruising the muscle. So where is it now? It might have fled off the map. Frankly, I don't blame it. I don't see it. It's probably gone. It looks like it got the worst of it. The dog. She is terrified while in conflict. She is afraid after experiencing trauma. She is 5 years old, tired. Her ability to stand is somewhat impaired. She has nerve damage. So she did get hurt by that camel. But I don't have a hospital or and I don't even know if you can even treat animals. I'm not sure how to do that. Her second left rear toe is broken. Her second left rear toe is smashed open. Her left rear paw is torn open. Her upper body is bruised. Her left front paw is bruised. Her right rear leg is bruised. Her tail is bruised. These injuries might heal on their own over time. Except the broken toe, that might not heal, but the rest probably. The bruises should be. These are pretty minor injuries. She'll probably be all right, I guess. I wish I knew if there's a way to treat the animals and how to do it. I don't know. I'd have to check the wiki, I guess. But if anybody knows, let me know, because I would like to get that set up if possible. Anyway, the camel, I think it's gone, but I can check. Oh no, there's camels on the map right now. There's a whole herd of them somewhere. Right here. I know at least one of them is bleeding, but I don't see. I could set a hunter to go to try to hunt them, but there's a lot of them, and probably end pretty badly. These camels are pretty large and strong. But as for this lizard. That might be something we can deal with. I don't have anybody set to hunt at the moment. And I don't know who would be ideal for that. Anyway, I'm gonna disable the mining on. I only got 3 picks anyway, so I'm just gonna have these 3 doing it. Now, ideally, you want to set the jobs for what people are good at and what they enjoy doing. But I don't think there's any easy way to do that without going through each one and reading in detail. So that's something this interface could definitely be improved on. Well, anyway, I hope that combat is over. I don't... see, the fertilizing needs the potash, which we don't have. He's storing an item in the stockpile. Well, anyway, the dog attacking those camels, that was what happened on my glacier embark when there was... It started off with some polar bear people, and the dogs killed that polar bear woman, and then her body was there rotting for that entire game. And I didn't know how to bury her or anything. The dog also ended up having its spine broken, and it ended up dying. So it wasn't a good thing either way. I wasn't happy about it, but I don't know if there's a way to... I mean, you can't... The animals, they do their own thing, and I don't know how to tell them not to do that. You can assign the dogs to a pasture. They don't... They don't need to graze. Only grazing animals need to graze, but so they don't need to be pastured for food, but you can pasture them to keep them in a certain place. And you can also restrain them with a rope or a chain to keep them tied down to one tile, and then they can move within a radius around that tile, but it keeps them from... As it is right now, they can do anything they want. And that might not be a good idea to have them roam free. Just like in real life, you don't want uh, your dogs to go free and get hit by cars or whatever. You don't want that to. You got to keep them pinned up or restrained or something. So that eventually I got to get this set up somehow. But you know, each step takes time. Let's see how the farms are doing. Now we're in summer now. And I don't have seeds for anything except potatoes. So rather than growing nothing, I'll set potatoes, I guess. And I looked it up since the last game about the fertilizing, and it does matter because when you fertilize, it'll increase the yield of the crops, just like in real life. So this does mean something, but it requires potash, which you get from burning wood. But we don't have a lot of wood to just throw around willy-nilly, so I can't just but we got some strawberries here. I need to set up some more proper farms, but we're in no danger of dying of starvation because we got all these plants growing up here. That wasn't the case with the glacier. There was none. Oh, look at where I roofed that off. There's now grass growing here. There shouldn't be because it should be dark because I built that floor over it. But oh well, anyway. Okay, like I said, I want to set up a crafts workshop. Build it out of Chert blocks. In fact, I'm gonna start making more of these blocks. Also, extend that stockpile. So this crafts workshop will make some stone crafts stuff that we can trade with the caravans when they come, because I think that they come in the autumn, so we want to get some stuff to trade before it gets to that point. And this is the stuff we can make out of rock. Now, you might have remembered when I checked on the details of the dwarves, one of them said they was unhappy because they didn't have mugs to drink with, so we can solve that problem by making mugs. And the crafts, we'll make that for trading. Hives are where we can put the bees to get honey. I'll make one of those. I don't want them to use the gypsum for that, though. Jugs. Jugs are used to store liquids. So, and we're always going to need that, so I'll set that on repeat. Nest boxes are what we need to put the egg-laying birds so they'll lay eggs. Rock pot. I could be wrong on this, but I think the pots are the same as the barrels, and can be. I think they serve the same, work the same way, store the same stuff. But since they're made out of rock, they're heavier. Yeah, I think I've exhausted all the wood, actually. Because this... I had stuff set to repeat, but it's all done now because... Yeah, see, it says it needed logs. So we've already used up all that wood we chopped down at the start. Which is fine. Well, we did make some masterpiece things here. As you can see, we made 2 masterpiece highwood barrels, a masterpiece bin, and a masterpiece saguaro rib wheelbarrow, and a saguaro rib bin. Masterpiece is the highest quality thing. And it happens so rarely that it gets its own announcement when it happens. And this here tells us what what significant things we've struck. We've struck an opal. And some hematite. No, that's limonite. I don't know what that is. It's an ore of something. Well, anyway, I wanted to get that to be symmetrical, but it's gotta be like that. Okay. Now let's put the beds in there. We still got just our 7 dwarves. Two, 3, 4, 5. Okay. I don't know if they even use this stuff in dormitories, but I'm gonna put it in there anyway. If nothing else, it'll increase the value of the room, so it'll still serve a purpose, even if they don't actually use it. Might as well put another bed right here, even though it's one more than the amount of dwarves that we have. Now, even though these constructed walls are made out of chert, it looks very different than the rough-hewn natural chert. But it's the same material, though. There's... These dwarves are sleeping there. But let's set this to a dormitory. A dormitory is where multiple beds that don't belong to anybody, but where it's like communal sleeping area. And since it's all, I'll put a door here too, I guess, to make it all symmetrical. Since it's all enclosed, they're going to be happier to sleep in there versus here. As a matter of fact, since I now have that, I can remove all these and put them somewhere else. I'll make their own bedrooms. Here, I might as well set a hotkey for this floor because I'm going here often. And the way you do that is you go to the edit hotkey thing. This is floor 0. You can name it anything you want, and there. So now, anytime I want to go to this specific spot, all I gotta do is hit F2. F1 takes to where we started. F2 is here. I should have that where I had those workshops. I probably should have set this as a hotkey, but I didn't. I don't plan on this being a permanent situation. I just meant this to be temporary, but I'll be using this floor to make glass with the sand, and I'll probably grow crops or something here too eventually, because sand can grow crops. Or maybe I'll use this floor, I don't know. Can't use this one because this is where we had the aquifer. Although there's probably usable stuff over here, maybe. You don't really need a whole lot of area to grow crops, but you do need, this might be enough for everything we need. Silt is a type of soil. There's probably more aquifers in here somewhere, but as the dwarves mine, they will cancel it as they hit it. But they're all busy for the time being, I guess. Yeah, see here, there's more. And that's fine, I'll just not do that. See, my farm could be here. This should be enough to grow enough food and stuff for hundreds of dwarves, so it's probably more than I'd ever need right here. I just wonder if there's going to be more aquifers somewhere around here. Well, anyway. So we got this. Well, we can smooth it. Unnamed dormitory. I know there's a way to see like what the value is of a room, but I'm not quite sure how to do that. But anyway, by smoothing the floors, that will increase the value of that room. It'll make them happier and all that. And as you can see, when the stone is smoothed, it changes the appearance of it. And it's still, even the natural stone doesn't look like the constructed, even when smoothed. Constructed walls, you can't smooth them, but they already count as smoothed for all intents and purposes. And you can go even further and engrave the smooth stone. You can engrave art images, and I think you can even set the specific images you want to be engraved, just like with the statues. But unlike the smoothing, the engraving has a quality factor. So the skill of whoever is doing it matters. You want to have your best skilled dwarf doing the engraving, but anybody can do the smoothing. Anyway, let's smooth that out as well. Our statues that we had queued up are probably finished by now. That would be under furniture, statue. And here they are. And this dash, it means something about the quality. None of these are masterwork statues. These are just basic quality. This the ones with the dash. The I don't know if that's better or worse than without the dash, but they're still not high quality, regardless. But anyway, let's put these. All around the staircase here. This is the. Well, let's put them all. It doesn't matter which order, I guess. F U B F U B F U. Oh, it's even, each one looks different. It even shows the image. Now that's something that you definitely do not see in the classic version. And if you click on the view, it'll give you the description. It's well crafted, so that dash means it's better than, a little bit better than the base quality. This is a well-crafted Chert statue of a chinchilla man. The item is a rendition of the Pyx of Heaven, an image of a chinchilla man and a fire snake. The fire snake is in a fetal position. The fire snake is being flayed by the chinchilla man. The image was commissioned by the Tempted Hammer, a local dwarven government. And here is the goose. This is just the base quality, it's not better than normal. This is a Chert statue of a goose. The item is a rendition of the Iron of Trumpets, an image of a goose and a goose. The goose is admiring the goose. The image was commissioned by the Tempted Hammer, a local dwarven government. This is the one of the jackal. The rendition of the Fence of Evening, an image of a jackal, a alder, and a crutch. The jackal is admiring the alder. The image was commissioned by the Tempted Hammer. And I could have I could have done a lot more. Detail, made it more extensive, but I just wanted you to get the general idea of this. I mean, you can fine-tune it a lot more than what I did, but this should make some dwarves happy when they see it. This is a well-crafted, just like that other one, Chert statue of a capybara man. The item is a rendition of the Untamed Vestibule, an image of a capybara man and a onion plant. The capybara man is cooking the onion plant. The image was commissioned by the Tempted Hammer, a local dwarven government. And it weighs 159, whatever that is. And the value is 30 dwarf bucks. This one is also 30 dwarf bucks. This one is only 25. So the base value is 25, but when it's slightly better quality, then it's 30. I don't know what the masterwork quality value is, but we don't have any masterwork. And another thing is you can have these studded with gems. These gems that we mine from the walls could have studded them to make them worth more. But anyway, he is embarrassed after sleeping without a proper room. You know, they don't like sleeping in the dormitory. But that's still better than sleeping on the floor, isn't it? Let's finish off this room here. I just wanted to make it be symmetrical. There we go. And that, rounding out those corners like that, gives a little niche to put statues or whatever. And when the dwarves walk by and they see those statues, they'll get a thought based on it. Well, while they do that, oh yeah, I made this, but I never even I ran out of Chert. So despite all that mining I've been doing, make rock crafts. The microcline is worth 3 and it weighs 256. The Chert weighs 265 and it has the same value. I don't know. See, the microcline, when I mined it and I hit that microcline, it was considered significant enough to make an announcement, but microcline isn't any more valuable than the regular stone, so I don't know why the game gives an announcement of it like it's worth something. You can't use it for anything different and it has no extra value. The only thing is it has like a blue color, but it isn't really anything special though. Alright, our population has now increased to 10 because some migrants have arrived. Which just goes to show I need to set up some bedrooms or something. The dormitory will be good. I don't see anything stored in there, so I don't know if they even use that, but like I said, it increases the value of the room, so whatever. Now, as for proper bedrooms, obviously they need a bed. But a bedroom needs a bed at a minimum. So you can have a bedroom that's just one tile with a door and a bed, and that would work, but they also want to have a cabinet and a chest if possible. So bedrooms should at least be 3 tiles at a minimum, probably. But you can make it bigger. You can make it 2 by 3 or 3 by 3. And the bigger it is, the more you can put in there, but they'll be happier the bigger it is and the more stuff they have, but they don't need, unless they're a noble, they don't need more than like 3 at most, really. But I'm trying to think how to set this up in a proper way. Because if I do this, then there's going to be this wasted space down here. And I would rather have it be symmetrical. Yeah, that's the problem with doing these rounded out corners, is that it kind of screws up the whatever. I don't know. I've never done it like this before, but I wanted to show the statues and how it's they'll be walking past those statues every day. But so far it isn't showing any thoughts about it yet. Okay, that smoothing job's finally done. I wanted to set this up to be a meeting area. Well, anyway, I'll eventually I'll set up some bedrooms or whatever. But that I just wanted to give you all a general idea of what's going on here and how to do things. You could probably do a better job than I have, especially if you've thought it out ahead of time and had an idea of what you wanted to do instead of making it up as you go along, as I've been doing. But anyway, thanks for watching and have a good day.